Meta midfielders in FIFA 23. So we've got a range of midfielders from CDMs, CAMs, CMs, left mids and right mids. The left mid and right mids are not going to be based upon wingers. They are players that I personally think can play really good as a left mid. So going down the byline, they may cut in every now and then, but they're not designed purely to get goals. And as you can see, first on the list is going to be our man Yaya Toure. So this guy genuinely is an absolute monster in the game. He's coming in at 1.8 mil now, which is just incredible. The stats are just fantastic with him, really. There is very little to say about this card. I always mention it, and I've got to again, this card would have been outstanding as an icon. If you had a base, mid, prime, a team of the year campaign, whatever they do for these icons, or team of the years, then he would have been just absolutely a natural in that role. He is very much like a Gullit, like a Vieira, like a Ballack back in the day, that he's tall, he's got good pace, especially when you add a Shadow or Hunter. Then he's got the passing, he's got a bit of defending, it's where the Shadow really comes in for him, and he's already got the physicals as well. Plus having the 4-star, he is made to run that midfield. 6'2" with a medium. We have got outside of the foot for him, and in general is just one of them players that comes in very top end. He also has a previous version which is just a bog standard hero that is coming in at 608,000 coins and is two ratings below, but still most definitely can get the job done if you couldn't double your value and go for this 1.8 million player. I recommend using SkyCoach at skycoach.gg. Link will be in the description, and make sure on your checkout to use the code JT11 for a discount on your order. Matthäus is up next. Again, another fantastic box to box. A little bit smaller than most of the midfielders that we tend to see in this, but 5'9" with a high. 3-star, 4-star. Always nice to get an upgrade on that skill if possible, but he's coming in extinct at 2 mil. I don't know why 2 mil is his budget, seeing as though his World Cup card is 2.1. He has got a 91 DM, which is coming in at just shy of a mil, and a centre-back base coming in at 650. Matthäus as a 5'9", right-footed, stat-wise, pretty crazy throughout, to be honest. You're looking probably, I would say Engine's going to be the best shout, to be honest. You will get the obvious defensive ones with a Shadow, with an Architect. Engine will be brilliant to go and get, obviously, that balance up a little bit more. Architect, which, to be honest, I don't think I've ever really used on a player. That will make him lengthy, so that might be the reason why people have gone with that. A Shadow will give him 96 pace, 95 defending, and I think it all depends on where you really want to put him in your team. He has got power free kicks as his only trait. Obviously, the stats throughout are very nice with this card, which just makes him even better in that DM pocket, or obviously pushing up the field as a box-to-box with that shot power and long shots. And another box-to-box, Marchisio. A 4-star, again, brand new into the game. Has an 87 version, which is coming in at just shy of 400. And he's got this version coming in at 1.2. Again, very much like Yaya, he's took the game by storm. A 4'4", high, right-footed with a 5'11" height. Flair and team player as the two traits. In general, this card was brilliant back in the day as well. He was obviously on Ultimate Team towards the kind of later side of his career, obviously, but in general, always really nice to see him back. With a Shadow, you're looking at a good amount of pace added onto him. With a Shadow, you get 91, 88 defending. Again, very solid going forward. He's got a bit of shot power and obviously long shots. Passing's normally pretty exquisite from him. A bit of agility balance, which is always working, and then the physicals are coming in quite nice as well. Again, just an all-round nice player for him. Picks the ball up nicely, has a good movement, and his passing is absolutely wicked. So I think, again, another one that I heavily see from anybody that's either paid for him or luckily got him out one of them World Cup hero packs. Now, where is a meta midfielder list without a Gullit? In general, this card is just so expensive, it is unreal. He's now coming in at 4 mil, which, to be honest, for a 93 Gullit, isn't that bad. Like, normally he's 6 to 8 mil by now still. He comes in at the start at like 11, 12 mil. Does drop fairly quickly down to a normal price, but to see him at 4 mil already, that's really not terrible. To say that even the mid is completely endgame. His mid's coming in at 2.645, so it's an extra 1.3 for the 93. And again, if you've ever played with Gullit, you can totally understand where he's coming from. A 4-star, 5-star, 6'3" with a high medium. We've got power header is the only trait for him, and in general he can do centre mid, DM, cam, centre forward or striker. He will flourish in every position, but most definitely for me he is a great box to box. You whack the shadow on this guy and genuinely watch him fly. You'll get 94 pace, 89 defending, which just brings everything to the top level. We've already got the 91 on pass and shooting, the 90 physical, the 89 dribbling. He is just made for this game. I've always said Gullit, Vieira, Yaya is a midfield three that is just scary. Even if you took out Yaya or Vieira and replaced it with Matthäus, again, that midfield is still coming in at about 7 to 8 mil a pop, but it will definitely get you to the end of the game with absolute ease. Probably one of my favourite cams in the game by an absolute landslide. We managed to get his 91 way back in the day when he got first released. Now that card's coming in at 1 mil, the mid's at 1.4, the World Cup's at 2, and this card is sitting in at 2.5. We do obviously have a mid Zidane SBC, so meta midfielders still cross over to the 94. I think 94, 5 and 6 are going to be relevant to the end of the game. He's got the 5-star, 5-star, which is absolutely perfect. 6-1 medium. We've got the traits on him with finesse and flair, and the stats, again, are very attacking orientated. I would say you could potentially do box to box with him, but it's very, very hesitant to. In terms of the shadow, what you'd get back from it, 93 pace, absolutely fine, but 82 on the defending gives you good head and accuracy, but most definitely in terms of what you're going to get, you are going to heavily rely on the interceptions, which will go up to 93. You won't necessarily have too much standing defensive awareness or slide tackle. You will mainly have to kind of push him into them positions and just push the ball forward. It does work, and I definitely think if you've got a free midfield, you could almost sacrifice a spot for somebody who is more attacking orientated, but definitely still comes back. If you're playing, for instance, in a 4-3-3 and you're not going for the cam variety, you could definitely put him as a right or left centre mid, as long as you have got either 1 or 2 very solid DMs sitting in the place to help him as well. We have got, I think I went through the traits, but in general, this is one of my favourite cards. 2.5 mil would be well spent, but being that cheap already, obviously the Icon SBC for him will have a big effect on that, but in general, this card is absolutely exquisite. Finally, non-icon or hero based, and to be honest, that is just normally how it works. The icons are normally incredible at the top level until at least team of the season / team of the year, because most definitely they are the best cards. They are the ones that everybody wants, and there is no difference with Neymar. A team of the year Neymar, a team of the season Neymar is as good as you'll get. He's 5'9", with again the 5-star, 5-star. Definitely could play that cam role, which is absolutely perfect for him, and he offers a different sort of role to what Zidane offers. In terms of Neymar, I think the biggest thing what I get from him, and it's just any level from him, even when we had his flashback, the actual dribbling style is so unique and works so well in this game, purely because that is how they've made it and how they've intended it. Ronaldinho has almost the same sort of dribbling style that just is so quick and very, very easy to use. He's obviously got the stats for it, very much on the attacking side. He will not be able to play box to box, and I wouldn't even try to with that defending. We've got flair, injury prone, and outside of the foot as the main traits. Skillful wise is outstanding. Passing wise and assisting, again, still very, very top end. And the only problem that Neymar's ever had with going forward is the shot power. It's the only thing. So long shots are just out the question. Pass and move, get him into the box. That is where he is an absolute clinical finisher. If you're trying for outside the box, it's just not going to happen. It will do maybe with a Trivela, with a glitch shot that necessarily goes in a lot easier than normal shots. But Neymar is still the top of the top, and he's coming in at 1.8 million. Now we go into an inform, so step away from the top of the level. In terms of right mid and left mid, like I said at the start, I'm thinking of players that are generically more right mid than right wing. So personally, Correa most definitely can play that right wing very, very well and has an alternative position for the striker. But in terms of the pace that he offers, he is really, really good getting up and down the wing. Not necessarily in the defensive aspect, but carrying the ball is a hard thing. You do find that players, for instance, Sterling, in terms of picking up at halfway line, you don't really, you want him through on goal. You don't want him necessarily picking it up in his own half, because naturally he does run out of steam. He doesn't necessarily carry on with the sprint every now and then. Whereas I think Correa and the other right mid, which is Mahrez, both do it very, very well. In terms of assisting, getting down that byline, they are absolutely fantastic at it. And obviously, Correa's coming in very cheap at 23.5k. Mahrez is obviously an SBC at the moment. Both of them with a 4-star, 4-star. Mahrez going one up with the 5, and both of them coming in at 5.7 and 5.10. In terms of Correa's stats, we're looking at good pace. Shooting-wise is solid. A little bit of passing is something that I would definitely work on with a chem style. The composure as well is one issue with him, but again, we will see him as the 89 version if you finish that SBC, as well being able to do the same also. We've got a good amount of stamina, flair outside of the foot, and solid player as the traits, and overall just a very, very top card for very, very little price. And as we finish off Mahrez, he's 309k until the 20th of January, so you've got 8 days from this video going live. I normally don't put SBC cards in unless they are live for a good chunk of time after this video goes live, just because if you fancy doing him, then obviously you have got time to do him. Like I say, a 5-star, 4-star, very, very good going down the wing. I personally play him in that right mid role. We did normally put Messi there because he would be linking to Mbappe and Ronaldo up front, but now we've got a different set of strikers. Mahrez is an absolute gem going forward, and now Messi has personally been benched from him. In terms of traits, we've got finesse, flair outside of the foot, and flair passes. In terms of dribbling, it's brilliant. We've obviously got that 5-star skills, which adds absolute magic to him. His passing's great, his pace is great. He naturally is a very, very good right mid, but he can also be more attacking in that cam or right wing position. Over the other side now with the left mid Terrier. So this card personally has been one of my favourite cards to be released so far. We had the Road to the Knockout to start with, which was an 86. We then had, well, started as an 84, I think. We then got a Player of the Month, which is 87. We have finished both of them. And then we managed, well, I think the 86 Road to Knockout was untradeable packed. But the Player of the Month we finished, and most definitely we're finishing this one as well. For 50,000 coins, there is no way that you don't do this card. An absolute cracking left mid. He's got the pace to burn, the dribbling, the shooting. He's a 4'4", 6 foot with the high medium. Can be a striker, left wing or left mid. Again with finesse, flair and flair passes with stats that are absolutely brilliant. We've got the acceleration and sprint speed. The finishing's good. The passing's solid. Little bit less on the dribbling. Obviously with the head and accuracy, we're looking pretty good as well. The other side to the other, from right side to left side, he can get himself in the box, and we have gone with the engine for him, which gives him 97 pace, 89 passing, takes the short and long up to 91 and 85, and we also get 84 and 85 on the agility balance. 50k you must go and do. You've got till the 20th of Jan. Don't let me down. So final one on the left side, and then we've got a couple of honourable mentions. Rashford is a cracking little unit. I personally always like him as a striker, but most definitely anything wide, anything in the middle, he most definitely can do. He's got the 5-star, 4-star. He is coming in a little bit pricey at 830 for his World Cup stories, I think this card is. And then in general, he has got an 84 Player of the Month, which was the very, very first Player of the Month. Can be left wing, left mid striker, and in general, very much like Terrier, the stats are pretty similar. There's only a minor few differences, and both of them are obviously the 88 rated. Rashford being a bit more mainly Prem tax, English tax, Manu tax. There is a lot of tax going on there with where he plays and what links he gives you. He's got the power, free kick and flair as the traits, and just one of them players that is very, very good in a forward aspect. And I thought, you know what, we'll go for 2 different SBCs, or 2 different players that I've got my honourable mention. Cruz is unbelievable. A 5-star, 5-star. The SBC, I believe, has now expired. That's why he is more an honourable mention, just in case you have finished him, because most definitely this card was worth every penny. He has expired at 300,000 coins. He is just a brilliant card. And normally with a Cruz like this, especially when he's an SBC and he's got a pace increase of about 23, you have to do him. You've got the great shot power, long shot. Passing's brilliant. Dribbling's nice bar from the agility balance, but we can deal with that. We add a shadow onto him, which gives him more defense and pace, and he's got a little bit of physical. But in general, a great box-to-box that was added to my team. And then the next player is going to be Vieira. Again, mid, World Cup, prime, every version of this card is absolutely brilliant. And base, to be honest, is probably past it now, but most definitely was one of the better CDMs you could still get in this game until the primes came out. The prime itself is coming in at 1.7, but I know a lot of people did take the tokens, which gave you a World Cup Vieira for about 40, I think, 35 or 40 tokens, I want to say. It was, yeah, 40 tokens. So you did pay the price for not necessarily being able to do all the packs, but in terms of a player, you're getting a roughly 1.3 to 1.2 million player back. And this card, even though stat-wise, it looks solid. He looks an absolute beast, but he's not necessarily got crazy everything. It's not like he's got 86s, 90s and above on every stat. He just has that ability. The in-game, every stat that works together well is the perfect reason why Vieira is always so expensive. And even then, I think 1.7, the token definitely took away a lot of the price, purely for the fact if you've done the token, there is no point you upgrade into the mid, or the prime I'd say, anytime soon. But this card has always been absolutely ecstatic. So let me know down below your midfielders. Who have you got in your set? Do you play a left mid, right mid? Let me know who you've got there. Make sure you like and subscribe on this one, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.